The first activity that I think that we need to focus on is lead generation. And that's not a aha, Ben's telling us something brand new and out of this world. It's if without leads, we can't even start on any of the other activities. Chad, is that you typing in the background?
It is. I'm answering a question. I'll type quieter.
Thank you, sir. So it's lead generation. Lead generation is an action. There's this idea that I read about in this book, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of book titles today that I want you to write down because they could potentially change your world. The first one is You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader. You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader by Mark Sanborn. And he talked about your IQ. Do you know what the letters IQ mean, Chad?
They're intelligent quotient is what IQ would stand for.
Okay, and Mark would argue that IQ means implementation quotient. What would that mean to you, Chad?
How much of the things you're actually putting into play and doing. You could know a lot of things, but if you're not actually applying them, they're not really any good to you.
Okay. In this book, he said that intent without action is daydreaming. Intent without action is daydreaming. That having good ideas just isn't enough. You have to be able to implement them. What do you think it is that stops business people, professionals like us, from implementing these things that we learn in IMSD or at Rain Camp or in one of these presentations?
Was that a question?
Yeah.
Okay. I think some people think it won't really work for them, that it was just a fluke that it worked for you or worked for somebody else, that it won't actually work for them, so they don't want to be bothered. And a lot of them probably come down to thinking, well, then I got to work. I got to actually do something.
I think sometimes it's just getting started that stops people. Just to make sure the audience is awake, answer yes or no in the question screen. Have you guys ever bought a piece of furniture that you had to put together? Okay, most people have. Chad, have you?
I absolutely have, Ben.
So we go to IKEA and we buy this media cabinet, whatever. We open up the box and we're stuck staring at all these boards with all these screws and bolts and these weird tools and all this stuff. It seems like somebody just handed me a Rubik's Cube and they took all the stickers off and they expect me to put it in the right place. Like, it seems impossible. What I figured out with this furniture is if you grab one piece and then you grab a second piece and you put it together, it starts taking shape. In 4 or 5 minutes into this entire thing, you start having a piece of furniture made. And once you start seeing results, it becomes easy to put together. But if you would have never taken the first step, grabbed that first couple boards and those first couple screws and started doing something, you wouldn't have been able to even finish this daunting project. And this internet lead generation, this building this real estate business, to me seems a lot like the same thing. If you don't go out there and post your very first Craigslist post that we gave you all the things to post, how would you know if it's going to work? If you don't go and optimize your website or start doing these things, you're not going to start seeing these results. In all the books that I've been reading, I've been buying tons and tons of leadership books. One of the biggest reasons that I can find why people choose not to implement is because they believe they're going to fail. And in fact, if you try to do this, there is a chance that you're going to fail at it. But if you don't do it, if you don't attempt, one, you'll never experience success, but two, you're right, you're going to be safe. You're not going to have failed at it. We got to make the choice. Do we want to take this risk and fail or not? I'd much rather fail 100 times. I believe strongly, and there's casualties in every war, and I think Chad can reinforce me on that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Ben.
things do not have to be perfect in my world for me to go forward. So the reason I say that lead generation is the first action that us as business people in real estate need to take is because without that, we can't do the second step, which is conversion.